The podcast you are about to listen to contains at least one of the following: strong language, disturbing topics, abusive opinions, generally things that aren't appropriate for little kids or overly sensitive people. So, if any of that stuff's going to get your nose out of joint, this is your chance to turn it off.
It's Aaron, your favorite unfiltered mess. Spitting takes so raw, they'll make your grandma stress. Is this, that, and the other? Life, politics, the whole damn scene. Whatever crosses my mind, or whatever I saw on my screen. Ooh, movies to munchies, games to the grind. Interviews flowing, this is starting to sound like a date, ain't it? Dinner, drink, sports, wait, you buying? If not, tough luck, my opinion still flying. No script, no filter, just pure chaos bliss. I might offend your auntie or your therapist. Society's clown show, yeah, I'm ringing the bell. If it's stupid, it's sacred, well, it had to be said, what the hell? Buckle up, buttercup, the mic's getting reckless. I had to say it. Now, pass the tissues for the trigger.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of I Had to Say It. So we're going to start out as we do by saying to Iceman Jason, Javier, Fitzpatrick, Al Jefe, Al Devlin, Al Morte, to the guys at the Weathered Soul Media Group, to Kate, the Duchess of New Jersey, to Boomer Bob, to George Fonts of the World Boys Podcast, to Billy G, to Josh from New Hampshire, to Bill and Dana at Clockham Craft Coffee, and to Lisa. Thank you guys for the continued support. Thank you for putting up with me despite all the shortcomings, failings, and disappointments I feel I've been delivering lately. I know the episodes haven't been as ranty as you guys are probably used to. I'm tired. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm old. I'm tired. I'm spreading myself too fucking thin, which is pretty impressive for considering how much of me there actually is that I managed to spread myself thinly at all, or do anything thinly for that matter. So, anyway, I'm going to take that off a little bit. And Bill's in the chat, and he says reverb. Yeah, I believe that. I'm actually still getting things reorganized here. It's probably, I'm not sure. I gotta go through and retweak my mic settings and everything because I still don't have my computer back. I did get the title card and that stuff transferred over to the laptop, but I'm still using my 3D printing laptop to try and stream the show, which means there will actually be video on the Spotify episode again, because once again, don't have this editing software loaded on there, and honestly, I'm not really sure it could actually properly handle it just because of the resources it requires. So I apologize for the reverb. It's I was hoping to mitigate it through mic technique, but apparently that's not going to be the case. Anyway, so a little bit of light housekeeping first. I can't think of what it was I was going to say. It really has been one of those kind of weeks, and it's only Tuesday. Things keep going sideways. My computer, as I said, is still fucked up. I thought I had it fixed yesterday. I was all excited. I got home to fire things up, get things ready, try and get my show notes together, and it proceeded to go back to freezing up again. So I'm thinking I really need to do that. I also still need to get my sound treatments back up on the walls in here to absorb the audio, the echo points that used to be in here. They need to be better. Yeah, Shauna, okay, I understand. I've got an echo. Hang on a minute. Let me, does that help any? Does that make it any better? Now I gotta wait for the answer in the chat. See if that actually sounds any better. Or if it's just echoing from the room. Okay, since nobody's saying anything, I'll assume maybe that worked. I don't know. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's again the settings on this other computer are
weird. I have options here that don't exist on the version of the software that's on my regular desktop that I usually do this stuff with. So, yeah, I noticed another thing was active that shouldn't have been active, so I turned it off. And now it seems to be okay. So anyway, like I said, a couple of light housekeeping things for the folks who listened back to the Spice project. Just a little update on that. It's going to be coming out here in a couple of weeks. All your backers are going to get what you got coming to you. It is going to be the initial runs of the packaging and everything, so there may actually be a little tweak here and there between what you guys get and what the actual normal thing becomes, because you're kind of going to be my lab rats and tell me how it looks and how everything is, and hopefully everything will be well resolved and it'll be good, and that will be going out here in the next couple of weeks. When I said the fulfillment date was going to be August, I thought that was a really big window, and now that the window's closing, it doesn't seem like it was that long, just because of how long it took me to get certain pieces in place, and the fact that when I started this whole little endeavor, I had a lot more time than I had money, and now all of a sudden, I still don't have much money, but I don't have any friggin' time left either. It's actually kind of infuriating in a lot of ways. But that's neither here nor there. That's life as an adult. It fucking sucks, life's tough. Get a fucking helmet, as the saying goes. But anyway, so yeah, it's been another week. More dumb shit is going on in the world. Actually spent a very nice weekend not doing much. We had family over on Saturday and did a cookout and had a barbecue, and I didn't smoke. I roasted a brisket, and I did a pulled pork because I'm an idiot, and I thought I had more pellets than I did, so I didn't have enough pellets to do a 10-hour smoke. But it still came out absolutely delicious, so everybody was happy. It was great. And yeah, we had a lovely time with that, and it's kind of fun because I can write it off as a testing expense, I think. As long as everybody told me what they thought of the food, it counts as testing, right? But yeah, so the big thing I've actually been thinking about, and it's been like I said, I've been very busy. Even when I actually have some time off, I still don't have any time off. I've got way too many irons in the fire right now, so I'm not paying nearly as much attention to the world at large as I probably should be doing if I want to continue doing ranty social commentary stuff on the internet. And I probably shouldn't say things like that, because every time I do, I start getting messages from people going, "Dude, are you hanging it up? Are you quitting? You can't quit." Da, 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 da. I'm not quitting. I probably should take a break, but that's neither here nor there. I don't do that very often. Usually when I do, it's unexpected and unplanned, so it's not like it's a break where I'm enjoying it. It's usually a break where I'm stressed out because my computer's fucking up, or else something else stupid that's stopping me from doing this. But yeah, so anyway, last, and a couple of little other things, like, I when I was going off about flock cameras the other day and how I don't agree with them, I think they're a horrible thing. My buddy Iceman of the Motor Cop Chronicles show, which I think everybody should be checking out, Iceman and Freebird and Holstera, they do commentary on different, absurd cases and stupid cases, and, good shoots, bad shoots, all that stuff. They do their live streams on Wednesday night, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. You should go check them out, Motor Cop Chronicles. Iceman said he disagrees with me about my stance on flock cameras, and that's fine. We can still be friends. I'm not some fucking retarded cultist who thinks you have to agree with me on every goddamn thing that comes out of my mouth, or else we can't be friends. And I understand, his stance, because he said during his episode last week that he disagreed with me, and we should sit down and talk about it. And, I would not be adverse to getting that planned out, brother. So we'll try and get something set up here one of these days pretty soonish. I mean, I could usually can do something like a Friday evening. It's pretty much my only time that I have available to do stuff as a general rule. But yeah, anyway, and he's got some valid points as to things that he thinks are good about him. Howsoever, I don't think the benefits outweigh the infringement on your privacy, and I don't think that, for every instance, like, of a good guy that has access to the stuff, there's plenty of people that don't.
And, I've heard a lot of arguments, things like, well, if you don't have anything to hide, you don't need to be afraid about having the flock cameras. And it's like, yeah, that's all well and good until the people that are controlling everything decide that what you need to be hiding has changed. And I'm not going to sit here and let somebody else dictate my life, because what I do in my own private life is my fucking business and nobody else's. Well, except for maybe Shauna's, because, the whole spouse thing. But other than that, no, I don't. I still don't agree with the flock cameras. I don't agree with the surveillance state. It could help the cops. It could help, make sure the right person's getting busted and yada yada yada. That's all well and good. I still, like I said, I don't believe the benefits outweigh the cost, and that's just my stance. You can disagree with me. We can still be friends. You can think I'm a piece of shit and never want to fucking talk to me again. That's as it is with everything I say. These are my opinions. These are my beliefs. You don't have to share them. You don't have to reflect them. I'll still be nice to you as long as you're nice to me. And who knows? Like I said, maybe me and Iceman will sit down and have a discussion about this, and you guys can listen to it and tell us which one of us is an idiot, or tell us we're both idiots, or tell us we're both right. I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I just like excuses to sit down and talk to my friends. And, yeah, so anyway, but that was just kind of a thing that came up, and there's still a bunch of people that are out there. Like the president of the Flock camera company is out there, and he basically said anybody that's opposed to his cameras is basically a terrorist. So, yeah, I mean, tone deaf much? I don't know how else to put it. It's a case of the absolute just horseshit that comes out of some of these people, where it's like, read the fucking room. When you've got literally thousands and thousands of people saying that what you're trying to pitch as a service is an infringement on their privacy, you don't sit there and go, well, if you're afraid of having our cameras watch you all the time, then it obviously you must be a terrorist. You must be up to bad shit. Well, yeah, no, not really. Some people just value their fucking privacy, and I happen to be one of those people. So, yay me. Excuse me, jeez. Yeah, I apologize. I'll probably be tapping into the sparkling water quite a bit tonight. Throat's feeling a little rough. I think I'm still dealing with some bullshit from the Canadian wildfires, which were a thing that happened last week too. It was smoggy as fuck down here for a couple of days. I mean, and yeah, we're in Illinois. People up north of us had it worse. Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin. It's yeah. I don't like any of it. I really don't. I don't like the wildfires. I don't like the smoke. It's irritating me. It's making me uncomfortable. It's making my throat sore. And it's really not even that bad here anymore. I mean, it pretty well cleared out by the weekend. So it's I'm sorry, I just completely derailed my own train of thought with that cough. Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, so we did discuss the flock cameras. That's a little bit. Like I said, the CEO of the company is just such a tone deaf asshole. Instead of trying to convince people as to what's good about his system, he went out and said, "If you don't like my system, you're a fucking piece of shit." And it's like I said, not well handled. It's right up there with how SIG handled the issues with their guns when they were going off by themselves. And instead of saying, "Hey, look, our bad, let us look into this," it was, "No, you guys are assholes. Our guns are fine." With a lot of these companies, how they handle adversity speaks as much to the company as the actual product itself. And frankly, the guy just strikes me as a fucking cunt. So, yeah, I don't like his product. I don't like him. I don't like what it does. I don't like the idea of a police state. I understand the concept that it could help the cops in a lot of ways. I also understand, like I said, I don't think that the value outweighs the fucking infringement. I don't think that putting that much data because, oh, well, the algorithm only searches for certain things. Oh, they only look for, license plates on cars so they can track missing and endangered people. It's only so they can help find kidnapped kids. And, every apologist who's out there saying all the things that they think make this okay are just assuming. I mean, everybody knows I don't think very highly of people in fucking general. I think human nature is we are flawed creatures. We give into our base desires, and everybody forgets the people controlling this shit. At the end of the day, are still fucking people. There have been way too many instances for it to be isolated of people with access to this system abusing it for personal fucking reasons. There are cops that have been stalking their exes, cops that have been stalking girls that they stopped in traffic stops, cops that have been fucking exposed doing all kinds of heinous shit using the access to these flock cameras. Furthermore, the flock cameras aren't fucking, secure. Contrary to everything they said, tons of people have shown examples of them hacking into it. So people with a base technical experience can get into these fucking things. They're not secure. Your privacy isn't guaranteed. It's not safe, no matter how many promises they fucking make to the contrary. And there's literally nothing to stop the system from being abused once it's in place. You can't put the genie back in the fucking bottle unless you use a fucking Sawzall and a couple of fucking spare blades. Let's see. Excuse me. So yeah, and like I said, there's just way too much. I don't want to harp on the flock cameras too much. Everybody knows how I feel about it. It's not, it's not even the most prominent thing out of the things that are rolling around in my head at the moment. It just happens to be what's the drivel that's pouring out of my mouth right now. Now the one of the things that I really was kind of more focused on at this point is that there was a case that has come out, and it just recently happened here, where the left is still screaming and screeching, and you get all the usual suspects that are out there talking about how Trump's trying to steal the elections, Trump's trying to rig the elections. Elsa Slotkin actually said the quiet part out loud and said if they pass the SAVE Act, the Democrats will never be able to win another election, which is fundamentally admitting that they're dependent on cheating. Anybody who says requiring ID to vote is going to, cost you an election, or it's going to tip the balance in the other direction, is basically admitting they can't win a legitimate election. So it's a case of, fuck you guys. I mean, realistically, the idea of voter identification is overwhelmingly popular on both sides of the fucking aisle with the constituents. It's just not popular with the people that are in office. And I think part of that goes back to the delusion that people that generally vote left assume there's way more of them than there actually fucking are. Whereas the people that are empowered by the left are fully fucking aware of how, straw man their constituency actually is, how unpopular their ideals actually fucking are, because they know a legitimate election will get them thrown on their fucking asses, and that's why they're fighting so hard to go against something that even their constituents say they fucking want. So, it's one of those cases where, in this particular instance, the delusion of the left actually works in favor of the sane person. But yeah, so they've been doing that, and now to tie into that, just came out today, what's her name? Milky Squirrel, the governor of New Jersey, came out and said that they acknowledged that they accidentally put 6,000 illegals on the voter rolls, and it was a whole oopsie doopsie and all this other shit. So, when they come out, if she's admitting that they accidentally put 6,000 on there, that means she's saying that to cover up for the fact that it was actually 60 fucking thousand. And, it's ridiculous. It's the entire system's cooked. It's rigged. It's a joke. I don't know how else to put it. And they know it is. And they will look you dead in the face and say, "Oh, well, the thing that never happened again," but it doesn't happen. And I don't understand how these fucking clowns. I mean, I don't understand how people don't see it. I mean, it's just so blatant and just disgusting. It's stupid. It drives me nuts. I actually don't have much fuel in the fucking tank about the matter. Again, like I said, I've been very tired recently. I think having a couple days off actually kind of threw me for a loop because my system didn't know how to deal with not being stressed out for 48 hours, and now I'm just having trouble getting back to being motivated. And yeah, it's been a thing. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I like gotten myself worked up about on the drive to work this morning. I remember getting worked up on the drive to work this morning, and I don't remember what it was that I was going to talk about. I mean, it could, be any of the usual suspects. My worthless fuckmupper of a government, the continued endorsement and Islamification of the Democratic Party is something else we could go by. See, JD on X says, I need more caffeine. He's probably right. The only problem is I need to get to sleep when this is over. And if I start hitting it now, I won't. So it's a sad state of affairs for me. Aaron's dragging, Aaron's sandbagging. But yeah, it's my brain is not braining real good. Although, speaking of which, yeah, the whole Islamification of the leftist party, it started with Mandami, and, Mandami commie socialist bullshit is, that's already crashing and burning. All the promises he made have been fucking shit canned. Mama Hochul bailed him out because she wants to be all up under his ass. He's gonna, and New York State is failing too. I mean, they're people who have the resources are fucking leaving. These policies are driving them out. The fuckstains won't admit that that's bad policy. It's, oh no, they're bad, selfish people because they don't want to give us all their fucking hard-earned money so we can help these poor fucked-upon assholes who never did a goddamn thing in their lives to fucking earn it. So at the end of the day, that's utter horseshit. But then you look out and there's some candidate for Senate or candidate for, I don't know if it's Congress or Senate in Michigan. And it's another fucking, squiggly letter name guy, Ahmed something or other, fucking, I don't know. And he's another fucking champagne socialist. He's fucking, got $700,000 a year or some shit like that he makes. And he's out here talking about how he wants to spend other people's money to help the poor and fucked upon. And you get these fucking retards that are just so fucking slack-jawed that they lap it up. They come out there and it's these worthless motherfuckers who will never get a goddamn thing on their own initiative in this world because they're worthless, lazy, entitled, spoiled fuckstains who go out there and then they fall for this bullshit because they don't actually have to live with the consequences of their actions. They can, fall back to mommy and daddy's money to bail them out because it's, like I said, it's champagne socialists. It's elitists who were born with a silver spoon in their ass and somehow seem to think that they're going to tell the rest of the world how to live their lives while maintaining their personal status, their personal wealth, and all this other shit because they don't have a problem with there being an elite class as long as they're part of it. What they have a problem with is, John Q. motherfucker who has, in their opinion, more than they deserve despite the fact that they worked for it and earned every goddamn thing that it's infuriating to me. It's just anybody with a modicum of common sense should see how retarded this shit is. But unfortunately, common sense is a very scarce commodity these fucking days. There's so many retarded sons of bitches out there just making everybody else's lives miserable because they're retarded sons of bitches. And the problem with being retarded is a lot like being dead. It only bothers the people around you because you don't know that's the case. It's just I can't stand this stuff. I can't. And then you've got, the usual suspects coming out and endorsing all these fucking clowns. People whose very ideology is antithetical to the United States way of life. And it's just one after the other after another. And you get, Pocahontas and AOC and all these other worthless sacks of fucking liberal fuck that come out and just spout, like, hey, this person hates America more than the last asshole we endorsed. He's going to be fucking great. Excuse me. But yeah, and it's a whole thing. It's a case of the people who know can't do anything about it apparently, and the people who could do something about it want to bury their heads in the sand and just do what they got to do to enrich themselves. I mean, this country was founded on ideals of public service and doing things for the good of all man, and unfortunately, it's been co-opted by the fucking parasite class that want to do everything they can to enrich themselves and burn the fucking world and rule over the fucking ashes. It's a disgusting state of affairs in a lot of fucking ways. It's retarded to me. It's a case of I don't really, I mean, I feel like I've harped on this so fucking much over the years, and it's been getting progressively worse. Maybe that's part of the reason I'm losing the spark, the fuel, the ability to just go off on 45-minute unhinged 2-breath rants that is completely, I don't know, maybe I'm feeling defeated. Maybe I'm just battered and broken, and maybe I'm fucking old. I don't know. I did have a little incident this week that reiterated that, yes, Aaron, you're fucking old. The white on your chin, the white in your mustache doesn't necessarily, it's not the only factors that make you feel like you're, you're just an old fuck. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm an old fuck and I'm tired, and I'm tired of dealing with all the bullshit, and it's coming out here ranting and raving every fucking week, and at the end of the day, nothing changes. I get it off my chest. I don't bottle it up, so hopefully I don't have a fucking stroke. But, on the other hand, I thought I was having a heart attack yesterday. It turns out apparently I'm at that age where I can fuck up a chest muscle just by sleeping wrong, so, yay me. Yeah, like I said, I'm old. I'm tired. I don't have the time to get my thoughts organized, to come in here and have good rants to go off on. I don't have the I don't know. I don't know how to put it without sounding like I'm getting all morose and feeling bad for myself. And I really don't. I'm actually in a position where, yeah, is my life great? No, I'm probably still $20,000 in debt. But at the end of the day, I could definitely be doing a lot worse. So this is not like a poor me pity party kind of fucking sentiment. This is just, this is the stream of consciousness thing that is how the show goes sometimes when I don't have a lot of stuff, and it's been one. It's been a lot of things, a lot of pieces of emotion. Things are getting better, but at the end of the day, it could always be worse. Like I said, I don't mean to sound morose, and I'm not all like, hey, I'm gonna hang it up. I'm not gonna keep doing the show anymore. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of talking and nobody listening. I'm tired of not getting any reach. And if I was the kind of person that would pay attention to those things, it might be a different case of it. It is what it is. It's just like I said. I feel more like I'm letting you guys down, and I apologize for that. That's not my intention. I always come in here with the intention of having a good rant locked and loaded, and at the end of the day, that doesn't always work out that way. Seems to be happening a lot more frequently these days, where I am coming in and just kind of rambling a little bit, and then next thing you know, it's like, all right, guys, that's all I got. I'm done. I'm bored. This sucks. Sorry. And I feel like that's it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, maybe I do need to take a hiatus. Maybe I need to take a vacation. Maybe I will. I don't know. My birthday's coming up. Maybe I'll take my birthday off. I really, this is driving me nuts though, because at the end of the day, I feel like there was something that pissed me off this morning, and it's pissing me off now that I can't remember what the fuck I was pissed off about. And, I'm trying to put myself back, and I'm sure this is riveting for anybody who's actually watching the live stream, that I'm sitting here trying to put myself back into the headspace I was in when I was driving to work this morning. And I was heading down the road, drinking a cup of coffee, driving through construction, all the usual bullshit of commuting in Illinois, mumbling under my breath because I just had to fill up my tank yesterday. And even though it's a case of, gas prices aren't as bad as they were underneath fucking under Sleepy Joe, but I still live in fucking Illinois, so I still have absolutely obscene gas taxes attached to what could be a moderate gas bill, if not. Now, granted, it cost me less than $75 to fill up my car this week, but it was still more than 50, which what can you do? Got to feed the machine to go to work to make the money to feed the machine to go to work, and so on and so forth, etc. et al. But and the thing is, it didn't actually have whatever it was I had stuck in my craw this morning. It had fuck all to do with the actual commute itself. It wasn't because I was in the car. It wasn't because my fuck muppet governor's an absolute fucking retard that can't say anything about his accomplishments. All he can do is constantly bemoan about how everything that's shitty in this fucking state is somehow Trump's fault. Even though, he's been at the reins for years, none of it's his fault. So the delusional fat fuck that seems to think he's got some sort of chance at running for the presidency, I still think it's a case of, he's polling lower than AOC. He's a delusional fat fuck. Who knows how much money he's going to throw at it. Silver spoon twat waffle sack of shit who keeps trying to paint himself like he's a man of the people, but at the same time he's fucking not. I fucking hate him, and anybody that's listened to the show more than twice knows that I hate that fat fuck muppet. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I remember having a whole great thing all worked out in my head, and I'll be fucked if I can remember what it was. I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me. But I'm going to change it to I'm going to talk about today's recipe. And in today's recipe, I'm doing something. This is not like one of my personal recipes. This is a recipe I have that I think is fun. Now, I've talked about this in the past where I actually, I really love old ass cookbooks, and this is one of those like old school church cookbooks. I'm not sure when it's from. JD, I don't see X comments. Sorry. I don't know why they're not showing up in the chat. If anybody's been making them there, I haven't been seeing them. But anyway, yeah. So this particular cookbook is it's from the the Bethel Friends Favorites Cookbook from the Bethel Evangelical Church of Washington Island, Wisconsin, by the Ladies Aid Organization. It was printed in 1973, so yeah, these recipes are super duper healthy and very conscientious of that sort of stuff. And I honestly, I was thumbing through this thing earlier, just looking for stuff, and it made me giggle because no, I have to put my glasses on for distance. I need to take them off to be able to read the recipe. And one of my favorite things about these recipes, there are so many of these recipes in here that call for oleo, and I was gonna pick one that said that just so I could say oleo, and then I realized most of them are fucking gross, so I didn't want to do that. Because if anybody is not familiar with the old Midwest talk, because that is definitely an old Midwest term, and it's oleo is margarine. It's hydrogenated fat. That's all it is. It's gross. But yeah, they used to call it oleo. My grandma called it oleo. It was still fucking gross back then. But anyway, so I did find actually a recipe that was pretty good, no oleo in it, and it sounds good. So we're gonna go through this while I try and remember what the fuck it was I was gonna talk about. And this is for a lemon pudding. This is a Mrs. G.E. Christensen's recipe. She contributed to the cookbook. And for your ingredients, you're going to have 1 cup of sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of flour, 3/4 of a cup of milk, 3 egg whites, beaten, grated rind of 1 large lemon. Now I'm going to say zested lime of 1 large lemon because grated just gets too much of the pith in there and then it gets bitter. 3 beaten egg yolks, juice of 1 lemon, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So first you're going to sift together your dry ingredients. Add a little milk to make a smooth paste. Add the balance of the milk. Beat egg yolks light and add lemon juice and rind. Add egg yolk mixture to the first mixture. Beat whites in and fold. Add melted butter. Bake well in a greased casserole. Set in a pan of hot water for about 1 hour at 325. Now, all right. So, yeah, that's the recipe. Let's see. Okay. Ricky says he's popping out. Okay. Catch you later, Ricky. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, this reads like a recipe from the fucking 70s. Now we're going to try and put a little interpretation on it. So yes, sift your dry ingredients together. That would be your sugar, your salt, your flour. You're going to add a little bit of milk to that to make a paste. Pretty straightforward. Add the balance of milk. That's adding the rest of the milk. Yeah, so you want to beat it until it's smooth, basically. You're going to lightly whisk your egg yolks till they start to get a little bit frothy and start to stiffen up a little bit. And then you're going to fold in your lemon juice and your rind into those egg yolks. You're going to fold that in to your paste, your flour batter. Then after that, you're going to beat the egg whites first. You want them beaten so they're smooth and homogeneous, not beaten stiff. If you beat them stiff, you're going to get an entirely different thing out of it. But yeah, so you want them like homogeneous, and then you're just going to gently fold them into your mixture. You're going to fold in your melted butter. You're going to pour it in a greased casserole, and you're going to set it in a water bath. Now, for most people, what I would actually recommend is probably doing this in a loaf pan and then setting that into like a 9x13 pan with water in it. So the water stops the outside from cooking too fast. So it cooks properly. It cooks all the way through. It says about an hour at 325. You're going to do that until it's going to be like springy when you touch it, basically. And then you're going to have a lovely lemon pudding. So that's the recipe for this. Yeah, so that's what I got on that. And yes, let's see. Now I'm going to actually turn a little bit of attention to the chat that I've been deliberately ignoring this entire time because, let's see. Shauna says I'm frozen up. Hopefully it unfreezes here shortly. Encoding overloaded. Considering turning down your video settings or using a faster encoding preset. It's not the preset computer. It's the computer. Anyway. Yeah, like I said, this laptop's great for what I use it for. It's not so great for streaming. It's an older laptop. It's still a good machine. It's got some problems. I know one of the fans doesn't work properly all the time. Some of the bearings are going out on it, so it overheats from time to time. But anyway, like I said, I was actually deliberately ignoring the chat because I was kind of hoping I'd be able to channel whatever inner thoughts I had, because I've been told repeatedly I'm actually better when I ignore the chat and just go off of my own, chutzpah. But, yeah. So, let's put this on. Let's see. A lot of back and forth between Cody and Ricky talking about Jews and Christianity and blah, blah, blah. Not much of it has anything to do with that. Bill had the same thing. Oh, great. So Bill thought he was having a heart attack too. Good job. All right, bud. Hopefully we're both okay and everything will be fine. Let's see. Yeah. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. Okay. That's great. I saw that where JD said I don't read the X comments. There are literally no X comments in this window. I wish there were. I saw one comment from JD on X, and that was literally it. Let's see. Cornholio, Oriolio, Cornolio. Make Oriolio. I don't know what Oriolio is, Cody. I don't. But grind up a bunch of Oreos and then whip them into margarine? I think that still sounds fucking gross because I hate margarine just on general principle. Now, now that we're thinking about it, I had a catering last week, fun little errand sidetrack here, a little errand story. I had a catering last week, and we did have a vegan that was attending the function that I was catering. It was a week-long thing. And so we did get them Oreos for dessert because Oreos are vegan, which is fun because there's no animal products in it. So that cream filling in the middle of Oreos is, hydrogenated fat and sugar. That's all it is. It's vegetable lard and sugar. But anyway, so yeah, what I was saying is actually now I'm thinking about it. We could actually, if we pulverized Oreos and folded it into butter, we could make spreadable Oreo butter very easily, and it would probably be fucking phenomenal. Now, there would be all kinds of trademarking issues and everything else with actually using, brand named Oreos, but we could find chocolate sandwich biscuits as the Limeys call them. Or, cookies, and we could just call it cookies and cream. Which, by the way, to go off on another fucking tangent here, anybody remember when they were doing all the flavored Oreos and they did cookies and cream flavored fucking Oreos? That to me is the most redundant, stupid shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. You made Oreo flavored fucking Oreos. I don't understand the logic behind that. And I'm sure people bought them like, hey, this is such a great fucking idea. But no, it's not. That's fucking stupid. You made Oreo filling flavored Oreos. Fucking why? Just And actually, I have done whipped cream Oreo, or I have done Oreo whipped cream before, and it works very well. We did it we used to do it as a topping for a dessert bar. Excuse me. Yeah. So, but like I said, I don't know why I keep going back to butter. I feel like butter would be a better medium for the delivery because if you start folding it into whipped cream and things like that, it's not as stable. And see, here's the problem. Now I'm actually fucking thinking about this, and now I want to do it, but I don't have any Oreos, so I need to go get some Oreos, pulverize that shit, make it into an Oreo cream, and then put that into other Oreos. Yeah, I remember you getting the Thanksgiving Oreos, Cody, and it was yeah, I did not predict good things when you bought them. I mean, ugh. I could kind of see the idea behind maybe like the mashed potatoes and gravy being all right, but turkey flavored Oreos, a sweet and savory, just does not sound good to me at all. No, Shauna, double mint Oreos are for people who have no soul and hate joy. Ugh, fucking wanker. Can't believe I married you. Ugh, you have such bad taste. Look at who you married. I mean, that's all the evidence of bad taste we need. But Oreolio, I feel loaded Oreos. I mean, now I have to go to the fucking store though. But yeah, so anyway, this may actually be coming soon to Amber Forge Spices. Spreadable cookies and cream butter. I feel like that's going to be a shipping nightmare, though, because it would have to be refrigerated. I'd have to get a distributor for that. I couldn't do that myself. Or could I? Yeah, I agree with JD. Mint and chocolate really don't go together. I mean, there's Andes mints, and I think I probably have a special blind spot for them because I always thought they were bougie when I was a kid. My grandma used to buy them and keep them. Yes, help created by Cody. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a byline on it if I figure it out. If we freeze dry it, it's not going to be spreadable anymore, honey. Then it's going to be crunchy. Although, I wonder what happens if you freeze dry Oreos. Well, there's really only one way to find out. The problem is, I feel like I feel like my partner on the freeze dryer is going to get really pissed off if I fill it full of candy all the time and sugary shit. Oh yeah, by the way, just in case anybody's actually, for frame of reference, yes, I actually do have a freeze dryer now. I bought one a couple weeks ago. I went halfsies on it with my kid, which reminds me, I still owe him some money. But yeah, I mean, why not? We could try it and see how it works. I mean, right now the thing is mostly just sitting there looking pretty. We haven't really freeze dried much yet. So spreadable Oreos, freeze dried, and then rehydrate it. I feel like we might be onto something here, guys. I don't know if maybe this is just me because I watched way too many podcasts and listened to way too many podcasts back in the COVID days. When the podcast boom of 2020 was going on and there were 9 million fucking podcasts out there. And now there's 999,999 fucking dead podcasts for every one that's still on the air that was born during then. So, but yeah, anyway, not to get all morose about things, but I don't know if you guys remember that there was a period where every time somebody said something they thought was an amazing idea, they'd be like, trademark, trademark, trademark. Like saying that over and over was going to stop anybody from bogarting their fucking idea. And, 8 times out of 10, it was already an idea that existed and they just thought they were original, but they just weren't as well versed in the world as other people were. But, it's like I said, I feel like we might be onto something here. Cody says, Cake Boss dude ships slices of cake all over the U.S. And yeah, it's yes, I declare bankruptcy. I actually you might be onto something there too. I get rid of all my overwhelming debt and just declare bankruptcy. I'll just have to start yelling it into the phone every time somebody calls that says I owe them money. But yes, we can probably freeze dry cake too, Sean. I'm pretty sure I know they did the astronaut ice cream. I think they did a whole bunch of desserts once upon a time for that. But yeah, and also I think the Cake Boss's cakes are less perishable. I mean, it's now I'm really going to be kind of obsessing over this for the next couple of days. And it'll be fun to explain to my staff, like, hey, how come Chef's sitting at his desk staring at his computer? I don't know, but he's got 3 different bags of Oreos on his desk. He's weird. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I'm going to have to actually agree with Cody on this one. Yeah, you can freeze dry anything. All you got to do is have a big enough freeze dryer to do it. I could freeze dry a person if I had a big enough piece of equipment. Now, unfortunately, the freeze dryer we have is actually one of the small, like personal use ones. I think it's only got 5 trays in it. It's actually a really big piece of equipment for how small the actual freeze drying area is, and it takes anywhere from like 12 to 20 some hours to freeze dry stuff. Dude, I will send out samples if I decide to do this to you guys. People who are in the chat, anybody that reaches out to me via DM, anybody that thinks this is a good idea, why the fuck not? I mean, it could be interesting. This could be fun. You just have to promise you're not going to sue me if you like get the shits or anything. I mean, obviously I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to send out anything to anybody that will, I will never send out anything to harm anyone, knowingly. On the other hand, a salad them from anything I'm going to send you these days. So balance I feel like it's going to be hard to balance the sweet versus the fat because you don't want that like super buttery mouthfeel where it's like greasy in your mouth. But you don't want it overwhelmingly sweet either. You're going to have to strike that middle ground. And then, and how will fat freeze dry? How will it come back? Let's see. Oh, look, a comment from X actually popped up. Said, "What did I miss?" Basically, an existential crisis and a lot of rambling about nothing. And now we're talking about making spreadable Oreos and freeze drying it and shipping it out to people to test. So, yeah, that's pretty much what you missed thus far. Um, hmm. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about this seems pretty plausible. No, we don't want to whip powdered sugar. I mean, powdered sugar would probably be whipped into the whatever the medium for the spread is. Now the question is, do we want to do like the part of me that likes to do things more naturally and holistically says we do that in like plain unsalted butter. But, as a delivery vector, it would probably be more in keeping with Oreo's overall thing if we used like shortening. But I also feel like shortening would provide way too much of a greasy mouthfeel on the matter. So, yeah, I'm gonna lean towards like a cookies and cream butter, which would be pretty fucking good, I think. You spread it on some toast first thing in the morning. You get your little bastards all sugared up and send them out to go drive the teachers nuts. Chase it with an echelon and have it have at it. Now, and like I said, also it'll be interesting to see if we do freeze dry it, how it would rehydrate into a paste. I imagine would it still be spreadable or would it be too granular? Because I feel like that's one of the things about freeze drying stuff. When you reconstitute it, it's such a slow process. Actually, it would probably be pretty good on pancakes because that's really kind of what got me thinking about it. There's a restaurant in town here that does just the best fucking pancakes. Like they have all these different themed pancakes, and they did do a cookies and cream pancake one time, and it had like a cookies and cream cheese, like sweet cream cheese that they spread in between the pancakes. When they were putting together this short stack, it was like 3 pancakes thick. It was about that fucking thick. Like I love going to this place, and I'm a big fat fuck. Everybody knows I'm a big fat fuck. Yes, Shauna, that's the one. I'm not giving them a shout out. They didn't pay me, but. I used to go there, and me and my buddy would go there, and we'd do fat kid shit, where we would order the just most ridiculous breakfasts with these different, and they have rotating menus of the different pancakes. They had, New York cheesecake. They had cookies and cream. They had this one that was called like, it was like the lumberjack, and it was fucking, apple pie filling and pecans and maple syrup, and oh, it was so good. And but yeah, so and like I said, it was like a cream cheese icing with Oreos crushed up into it, spread in between the pancakes. And their pancakes, even the plain pancakes, were just so good. They're like just the perfect hint of sweetness, but super savory and just velvety smooth. And as long as I'm talking about fat kid shit, here we'll do another recipe here. Just a little pro tip for if you're deciding to be a home chef one day and you want to make yourself some pancakes, use Sprite to make your pancakes. It's a total fucking game changer. Just get the fucking Bisquick, and instead of using water, substitute Sprite. Equal parts, and you get just the best pancakes. They're fluffy, they're light, they're a little bit sweet, they're delicious. I had a buddy of mine that used to sub out pineapple juice for the water, and he would, but it was a little more, gave it more of a tropical feel to it. I'm not a huge fan of pineapple juice in a lot of ways, which is weird because actually one of my favorite drinks, in terms of the sodies, is I actually like the pineapple sody. So go figure. Maybe my taste buds are changing as I'm getting older, or maybe it's got to do with the same reason I can't eat fucking peanuts anymore. I don't know. Stupid shot. Pancake Saturday. Yeah, no, Pancake Saturday sounds great if I was actually home long enough to make pancakes on a Saturday, but I go to the gym, I take a shower, I go to work, and then you get out of bed. So if you want pancakes on Saturday, you'll have to make them. All right. Well, obviously, I'm not going to remember what it was I was thinking about in the car, and we're creeping up on an hour of recording time here. So I'm going to take a minute, throw it over to the chat, and see if anybody has anything to add to this conversation or anything they want me to riff on for a few minutes. And if not, I'm going to put a pin in it. And I'm going to apologize before I close out to all of the listeners who are listening to an uncleaned audio version once again, because, like I said, I'm not going to try and edit on this laptop. I feel like it would take all night. So once again, you guys are going to be getting the video version uploaded to Spotify, so you'll be able to watch the video of this on Spotify for whatever fucking reason if you want to. I feel like I'm not really all that interesting to look at, but yeah, this will be getting posted with all the ums, the ahs, the gaps, and the pauses, and I guess this will give you guys a hint of what you're missing if you're not watching the live streams. So we'll give them another, 25, 30 seconds while I'm going to continue babbling and watching the chat to see if there's anything I need to spout off on. And in the meantime, now that I have this thing more or less set up to do streaming, I cannot have anything else open or running while I'm streaming on this laptop. So I can't have show notes or effects or anything queued up to do like the other live stream shows where they're doing it like an actual live show where they play video clips and things like that, which I feel like part of that could actually enhance what I do, but there's also a case of, that's not me. That's not what people have come to this show for. That's not what they've come to expect from me. And I feel like if I start throwing shit in there like that, like sound effects and all the fun fucking buttons I have on this Rodecaster that I still don't use, even though I should, but I mean, I don't know how many of these sound bites are going to, that one's not trademarked, I don't think. So I could do that. Let's all laugh about Graham Plantner. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's fucked. Fuck that Nazi scumbag. I don't feel bad for him at all. It's, haha, you tried to, you were a piece of shit. And once again, it's like, I also, in a roundabout way back to having something else to say, all these fucking retards that are come out endorsing all the DSA assholes and all these candidates that are, even closer to being actual commies, they all endorsed Graham Plantner too, and they didn't retract that until it was surmounting evidence. Like the first rape accusation wasn't enough, but after the third one showed up, that's when we also had to go. And oh yeah, trans meatloaf. Yes, thank you, Cody. That's a good reminder. The candidate slate of people they put up to replace this asshole that the Democrats put forward. One of the candidates is a trans individual who has to be the dumbest son of a bitch I've actually seen them come out and actually try and platform. Like they had a debate with like 4 candidates. Only people are only talking about the he/she guy that is out there identifying as a woman who is obviously mentally deficient. This cocksucker probably can't read because his eyes don't focus in the same direction at any given fucking time. They ask him what his qualifications for candidacy are. He said, well, I've run for office several other times, never won, but ran several times. I write my own books and I write my own music and I write my own stories. None of that qualifies you for public service. I'm sorry. And when you're a delusional man that thinks you're actually, in spite of all the evidence to the contrary, including an ultrasound and phenotyping, and you say, well, I still think I'm XX, and this guy literally went out and publicly stated that he feels as though he menstruates, but since he doesn't have female organs on the outside, he menstruates out his butt. My guy, you either have colon cancer or a hemorrhoid. And it's not a slimy discharge. That's not a menstruation. That's you have ass problems and you need to go get your prostate checked. It's the degree of delusion in these fucking people. We need to bring back nuthatches. I'm sorry. We need to make asylums great again. We need to take these people out of society until they get their shit together and realize reality does not bend to whatever the fuck you want, because you are going to say some of the stupidest shit on the planet and expect people to clap for you. And you can insert the seal noise here. I'm not fucking doing it. Use your imagination, Kate. seal of approval. Here you go. And it's just, I mean, it in a lot of ways it's infuriating to me that this shit happens. Yeah, and we have a society that's not only permissive of the shit but endorses it and comes out and claps for these retards. And yeah, we should celebrate them. We should laud them. We should encourage their mental illness. Fucking retards. No wonder the world's collapsing around our fucking ears. And third world street shitters are fucking walking in and just taking over the place. Usually to the applause of the dumb fucks who are, saying this guy's right because he menstruates out of his ass. And speaking out of the ass, I think I'm going to put a pin in it now because I'm done talking out of mine. And I'm going to say for now, that is what I had to say.